Hey, it's Craig. I just wanted to let you know that you can listen to Canadian History X early and ad-free on Amazon Music, included with Prime. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Canadian History X. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can. Just go to patreon.com/CanadaEHX. You can support the podcast for as little as $3 a month. You can also donate to the podcast by going to CanadaEHX.com and clicking Donate. He is one of the top reggae singers in Canada and one of the top singers in general. He's a Juno Award-winning artist, and today I'm talking with Kirk Diamond, an excellent artist and one of Canada's rising stars in music. Currently, he has a new song coming out called Let It Be Done, and you can check it out. We're going to talk about that, about music, about COVID, and so much more. So let's get straight to my interview with Kirk Diamond. First question. So how have you been the past few months during COVID and lockdowns and self-isolations and things like that?
I've been okay. I mean, it's definitely a different time. We're not used to it, right?
Yeah.
But I've been able to refocus, especially with music and stuff like that. I've been in the studio a lot. I think this is the most I've ever been in the studio at one time. It's just constant writing, recording. Not much shows though, obviously, but
Obviously,
right,
yeah.
but it's been okay.
That's good. Kind of in relation to that, how has COVID impacted you in terms of making music and bringing your music to people across Canada and the world?
Um, well, making music, um, it has helped because now I am more aware of what's going on socially. You know what I mean? It's not like now because the type of music that I sing, which is always message driven, it has me focusing on what I feel the people need to hear, especially now. You know, it's funny, like before COVID started, like we would hear, Bell, let's talk about mental health and stuff like that. And I would assume that maybe a lot of people's mental health are a lot worse now due to not being able to go out or constantly being in quarantine or isolation and stuff like that, or just being unsure of what tomorrow may bring. So
Absolutely.
I've been focusing my music more on to try to bring hope and light to people that need it. As far as performing and getting it out to people, it is helping me to try to understand social media a bit better because I always sucked at it, right? I always had someone else doing it. Um, so now it's just I have to be out there more, trying to be more virtual, as they say, with my audience, which I wouldn't usually have to do because I do reggae music. In the summertime, it's always a park full of people, and we get to them that way. Right. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, tell me a bit about Let It Be Done. How did that song come about?
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, it was Let It Be Done. I started writing it in March, like right as soon as the quarantine started happening, like second or third week of the quarantine, and it was just an overwhelming time for me because it's like since January, it was almost like every time you turn on the TV, there was something else that I had to just turn it off. You know what I mean? So it was COVID, and then the Amazon rainforest is on fire, and then we thought that we may go to World War III. You know what I mean? And then the
Yeah.
police brutalities and stuff like that. So it was like, holy crap, what's going on? It's only March. Like we have 9 months left.
Yeah.
So I felt like I felt like I needed to pray, and the only way I know how to do that is through music. You know what I mean? To get my message across is through music. So that's how Let It Be Done came around. You know, and so far I've gotten a lot of good reviews, like saying that this really puts their year in, like people it put their year into perspective as to how they feel and what they want. You know.
Kind of looking, like you said, you wrote this back in the early part of the year, and then now we have 10 months to look back on and think like, wow, it couldn't have got much worse, but then it did. Do you feel like the song kind of was kind of perfect for this year, even though you didn't really know what was going to come down the road all the way up to today?
Yeah, I feel like it matched almost too good. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to, like I said, we didn't know exactly what was gonna happen or if it could get worse, and then it did.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it seems as if it's about to get even more worse.
Mhm.
Um, because apparently the numbers are skyrocketing.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, we, the general public, don't even know what it is that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like we don't know what COVID is.
Mhm.
We don't know how you get it. We don't know how to protect ourselves from it other than wearing a mask.
Yep.
And we're unsure of everything.
Mhm.
So I felt like Let It Be Done fits to everyone's, well, it should, well, in my opinion, it fits to everyone's thoughts of what they need to hear, as in hope
Mhm.
of an unsure time, uncertainty, you know.
Absolutely. And the video, it was filmed in Uganda.
Yeah,
How did that kind
yeah.
of come
And
about? Why film in Uganda?
because their lockdown wasn't as bad
Mhm.
as ours, like they were still able to and I didn't really want to take the chance and be out here in Toronto where we had a lockdown. We had limited numbers as far as gathering, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to break the law, so to speak, to
Mhm.
do it. And then it just turns out that I had the opportunity through a friend of mine that he's from Uganda, he's a director, and said that he could actually put it together in Uganda. And the message he felt would actually fit well in Uganda because there's so much underprivileged people that are there. And if you watch the video, you can see children smiling and
Mhm.
laughing, even in a situation lets us in Canada or in America realize that we've really been blessed to even have a home, to be able to put on clean clothes, shoes
Mhm.
that don't have holes in it, and stuff like that. So we really need to stop taking our blessings for granted. You know what I mean? Just
Absolutely.
compared to that video,
Mhm.
and it just turns out like now, yesterday I woke up and in Uganda, it's almost the same thing that I was talking about in Let It Be Done. It's happening there. Like I'm
Mhm.
seeing like dead bodies all over the streets of Uganda now, like people's legs being blown off and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, so the music is just for the world, I guess. So I mean,
Mhm.
they need it too.
Absolutely. It kind of with your music, you seem to be heavily involved in like having a social message to it. So, what role do you feel music does play in things like social activism?
Um, well, I've always looked up to artists like Bob Marley, um, Nina Simone, and all these people. And I remember I watched a documentary one time, and Nina Simone said that it's your job as an artist to reflect what's going on in the world and the time. Like
Mhm.
everything that we do as an artist is almost like a timestamp to say, okay, um, 2020, when all this was happening on, like, just for an example, we had Let It Be Done by Kurt Diamond speaking to it, or Sam Cooke sang A Change Gonna Come in 1960, whatever he sang it in.
Mhm.
I'm not sure right now, but you know, we always needed a song, and it's always music that helps the people get through a time. It doesn't matter what you're going through. Like you could be the happiest person. You could hear a song right now that changes your whole vibe to make you want to cry. Like, oh my God, this is so beautiful.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You may not be in love with anybody, and then you make a mistake and go to a wedding, and then the songs they're playing, all of a sudden you want to get married now, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, music plays this great impact on our emotions and our feelings
Mhm.
and just our whole outlook. You know what I mean? The harmony, melodies, everything. It's just what we have, I guess, and I feel like to be able to do it, you have a responsibility, especially to the people and your fans, to at least let them feel better about a
Mhm.
situation that we're uncertain about.
Mhm. With your music, are there any specific causes that you like to focus on? Any certain things that kind of play a central role in the music that you put out?
Um, I just go by experience to tell you the truth. Um, if I live it, I usually sing about it, or if I see where something needs addressing and I feel like I have enough knowledge to speak on it, then I will.
Hmm.
If I don't have the knowledge, I won't, right? Like I
Hmm.
won't, I've never been like, for example, you have a lot of n- I would say negative music that speaks about, like violence and stuff like that. I wouldn't do that because I don't live a violent life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or have I ever experienced um a violent life like a lot of people have that sing about it. So
Hmm.
I can't relate to that, So with me, I just try to speak on what I want for the people I'm around and my community and just throughout the world because I travel a lot too. So it's like when I travel a lot, I get to fall in love with different cultures. And I just feel it necessary that my music has to be something that brings everybody together. So it's
Hmm.
not necessarily a specific basis of which I speak, other than love, unless we're going to say love is that foundation that I speak on.
Absolutely. When I was looking at your bio, I saw that you have a lot of philosophies that kind of influence your music. So, can you just talk a bit about the philosophies that influence you?
Well, you could probably tell by my hair, but like I do, um, I'm a Rasta by faith, right? Which is not a religion, it's just a way of life for me.
Mhm.
Um, so it's always peace, love, unity, harmony with everybody's our brothers and sisters. Um, and then Marcus Garvey, who is Jamaica's first national hero, who basically spoke about organizing and centralizing to make not only Jamaica but like Black people um, more independent and self-sufficient without depending on state or country or whatever, and get past the time of slavery and colonization and stuff like that. So I have a lot of that influence, especially coming from where we come from in Jamaica, where we saw the after effects of what slavery did. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
even though we didn't have it here in Canada, we still see where certain rhetorics actually come across the border with a lot of people. And I'm fortunate enough through my music, I'm able to see like when I do a show, when we were able to do shows, I'm seeing everybody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm seeing every culture, every color, every creed. It really didn't matter. And I think that was the purpose of me doing music. And I love that,
Mhm.
So yeah.
And one question I like to ask various artists when I interview them right now is, do you feel like COVID is showing people the importance of arts in our lives, whether it's writing a book or making a TV show or a movie or making music? Is COVID kind of showing us that we need arts in our lives? We need that culture. We need something to kind of get us through the days that are those tough days that a lot of us have been having lately.
I think so. But who I hope really see it is the Canadian industry, because I feel like we in Canada have one of the toughest industries to actually break artists. It's
Hmm.
one thing to like I think Canada has maybe the top five artists in the world right now, right?
Hmm.
But a lot of artists in Canada is feeling it like we're literally struggling to get to where we want to get to where we need to get to. And I'm not sure if it's because of lack of infrastructure or if it's not equally available to every genre of music and arts and stuff like that. But I hope the industry sees that we need this and this is what we have to help. Like your I think it was Friedrich that said, life without music would be a mistake,
Hmm.
right? And I think that that's just for arts in general. Like think about it. Like you wake up and there's nothing pretty to look at. There's nothing that sounds good. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like even like in the springtime, I'm not sure you can hear them now, but like birds sing. in
Hmm.
the morning when you wake up. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
world is literally beautiful because of art and music, and we need that. So I really hope that people really do see that these are things that are necessary for the world to actually be at peace.
Hmm. And then looking towards next year, I know we might have a vaccine. We might, hopefully things get back to normal at some point next year. What is kind of upcoming for you in 2021?
2021, well, because of COVID, like I said, I've been in the studio since March.
Hmm.
I'm not lying to you. I think I have 3 EPs like ready to go, and I'm just confused about how to release them all in 1 year. Right. So
Mhm.
so whatever project Let It Be Done is gonna be on, that may actually be released last.
Mhm.
So but I have so much um work, and I'm still recording, and I'm actually thinking about putting together a virtual show, like a real virtual concert with production and everything. Um, just to say that we did it in this
Mhm.
time, because I've done a few virtual shows, but the production wasn't up to what I think a virtual show should look like,
Mhm.
especially at this time. Like we don't have outside anymore to go to. So I think we should let people actually feel like, you know what, we aren't outside, but this looks really cool to look at.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And just the last question is, if anybody is interested in the new song, if they want to learn more about you, if they want to connect with you, see your videos, hear your music, where do they go?
You could go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Kirk Diamond, KIRK Diamond. And my website is kurtdiamondmusic.com. And if you want, I just got this real cool thing.
Okay.
If you download the Snapped Hub app, and when you download that, you go to your photos or your camera, and you hold your camera over my logo, then it will start playing Let It Be Done, the video,
Oh,
like
nice.
automatically on your phone. And there's a button there where you could click that brings you to all my socials
Oh, nice.
and all that.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Kirk Diamond. If you did, please leave a rating and review. You can reach me at craig@canadaehx.com, and you can visit my website where you'll find hundreds of articles on Canada's history, as well as all my podcast episodes. Just go to canadaehx.com. In addition, if you want to support the podcast, you can. Go to patreon.com/CanadaEHX. Just like all of these wonderful people have. Clinton Martinez, Dimitri Chauve, Aaron O'Hara Myers, Robert Dunseith, Todd Casey, Catherine Roy, Luke S., Vic Hedges, JP Bear, Jason Hall, Phil Maynard, Spencer M., and Iris Gray. You can also reach me on Facebook by going to facebook.com/CanadianHistoryX. You can find me on Twitter. Just search for Craig Baird, CraigBaird. And you can find me on Instagram at Bairdo37. Thanks, and we'll see you again next time.